Buckle up, excellence junkies, because this podcast is definitely for you. Welcome to Rocket Fuel. Do you wish that you could surround yourself with people that love to kick ass just like you? Well, come to my party, baby, and meet some of the brightest stars in the entrepreneurial galaxy, because it is my mission to give these entrepreneurs a platform to declare what they are on this planet to accomplish and to show you why they are rocket fuel. And we're live. Oh, guys, I just finished up with the really super interesting interview, and perfect for those Christian women entrepreneurs out there, right? Who struggle with putting God at the forefront of their family and feel like they haven't been able to integrate it in their business. And it's interesting. Our expert today is Elise Smith of Divinely Driven Results. And Elise, I'm so thankful that I have you here on the episode, because we talked, I mean, in the longer episode, there's tons of good stuff, but we talked about the fear of niching down and serving a particular audience. And tell us a little bit about how it is that you came to building Divinely Driven Results and deciding that this was your message. This is how you were going to support entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been coaching for over 12 years, and it's been more in the corporate world. And about 4 years ago, the Lord really called me to serve Christian women entrepreneurs. And we talk about an amazing story about, how God woke me up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. to be able to see exactly what he wanted me to teach and train the world. And that is biblical business strategy of taking Fortune 500 company principles and looking at them through the lens of the Bible, so that they can amplify the results that you want in your business. And, I just remember him, I was in that bed, all curled up under that warm blanket, right? And he just gave me that whole strategy, because I had asked for it. I had asked him, how in the world do you want, who do you want me to help, and how do you want me to help them? Mm-hmm. And it was just all given to me in that moment. And I remember, telling him, like, God, that's awesome. Thanks so much. I'll write it down when I get up. And I swear that voice was very much like, get your butt out of bed right now and go write it down. And for the next 6 hours, it just flowed from me. And I knew that was absolutely God. It was divine.
Interesting. So interesting. And so we talked about so many like juicy things in the longer episode. So what I will say is, obviously, keep listening. If you are a Christian woman, entrepreneur, and you're like, huh? What? I've been taught to kind of keep it separate, right? It's like you don't talk about faith in a work environment, but now you have the opportunity to be your own boss and create your own culture and incorporate something that is very important in your personal life, a guide and mentor, and bring it over. So my question to you was, does that mean that everybody that you serve, puts God on their marketing, right? Is that kind of out there as an integrated part of how they serve people?
Yeah. I think it's just at the core of who that person is, right? It doesn't, some people are called to serve the world. Some people are called to serve in a very specific niche around Christianity. And it's all dependent upon you and that partnership with the Lord, right? When you ask the Lord, who do you want me to serve? And you get really specific with that question, right? Then you will start to see who that person is. And that might be including that Christian word in there, or faith-based, or whatever it is that you're looking for. But it doesn't have to be. You can absolutely serve, people who are looking for faith. You can serve people who don't believe in God at all, but that can still be a strong value that you have and something close to your heart. So, we talk about this in the other interview, but we all are called to serve very specific people, foreordained by God to be able to serve those people. And everybody needs love. Everybody needs that transformation that you have to offer. But when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one, right? So when you
Right.
speak to the one, that's when you speak to everyone, because your powerful message really hits their heart. And so, absolutely not. We work with everybody when it comes to Christianity, and even some people who are not Christian but are not offended by the Bible, because we, incorporate the Bible in everything that we do.
Right.
But there's a lot of businesses out there who they don't post scriptures and that kind of thing because they don't feel called to. And we all have our different paths we're supposed to walk.
Right. Right. And I think the main message is that um if your partnership with God is strong in every other aspect of your life, then it could actually be a detriment to you to not incorporate it in such a huge part of your life, especially in entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
And I can imagine it winds up being kind of this friction that happens by perhaps almost like purposely trying to exclude it because maybe you feel it's not appropriate or you're not quite sure how that could be. So to be able to have a coach like you that kind of acknowledges that, I mean, you still have a strong connection in corporate and in coaching people in the corporate environment, so you have that awareness, and I think that's very important to mention as well, because to boldly say, right, well, my business is divinely driven results, right? It's like, but you may think like, okay, well, does this person not have an understanding of how I in my business, in my landscaping or whatever it is that I do, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And you're not telling people to do that. You're just saying, but if you connect with God everywhere else, let's figure out how he can be your partner.
Yes, absolutely. And there's that scripture of, that put God first and everything else will be added upon you, right? And
Mm,
that's not just our wants that we have, and I'm sorry, that's not just our needs in our world, right? But it's our wants as well.
mm,
That scripture of God would never give you a stone when you ask for bread, but we have to ask first.
mm. Yeah, yeah. And so that's the thing too. We quickly talked about is your intention to help people kind of release the reins to the Lord.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because we get into that energy of like, I've got to do it all. Man, us solopreneurs, like we totally we get it, that every hat is ours to wear. And so we take that on ourselves and we say, okay, I've just got to barrel through this and get through it, right? But
Yeah.
we are not meant to be alone. And God is right there waiting. And sometimes, he blesses us with all these amazing things. And I think about that story about that guy who I think it's a joke, but I'm going to tell it as a story. Is that the guy, he's like standing on the top of his house because he's in a flood, right?
Uh,
And he's like, God, please send me something, help me, right?
uh,
And then a boat comes along and just kind of skirts by the house, and he's like, oh no thanks, I'm good, right? And
uh,
then and then he's like, God, please help me, on top of the house, I'm gonna drown. And a helicopter comes down from the sky and is like, hey, get on. And he's like, nope, I'm waiting for God to help me. And and it's sad because we don't know what happened to the guy, because I can't remember the
because
beginning.
I can't.
but but the thing is we do that sometimes. We're not always aware of those things that God has put into our life. And so that's why it's important to have that strong partnership with God, because then instead of the boat passing by, it'll now have a sign on it saying, God sent this boat, get on.
Yeah, it's like being tuned into the right channel, right? It's like,
Absolutely.
oh, I see. No, I truly think that it's rocket fuel for somebody to, I mean, I hope that for a rocketeer who is faith driven in their lives in general and feel like they have to kind of hide that portion when they're running their business. I truly think it's rocket fuel to be able to have the connection to somebody like you, for you to be able to acknowledge like where they are, what their business is. You have that really strong business sense, and you're huge advocate of incorporating your faith, right? So you're there to say like, okay, this is how you can. I understand this is how you may not feel comfortable, but maybe. And so that's important, just witnessing your personality and how you approach it. I can imagine that it's not this like strict, like, okay, learn these techniques and this is how it is. And so is that fair to guess, Elise?
Yeah, absolutely. And the best guide and the best coach, in my opinion, is one that can give you amazing tools and strategies that have worked for other people, but leave that up to you and God, because it's your path. Right? Your
Mm.
business is between you and God, not me. But I am here to be able to help give you strategies and tools that have worked for other people, and that you can take to the Lord and say, okay, this seems like a good strategy for us in our business. I always say our business because it's God and I's business, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And how do you want me to customize that to your will for me and our business and those people that we're meant to serve? And so we will teach all these amazing biblical business foundational principles, such as having a faith-infused sales funnel and heart-centered prospecting, and setting goals with David and Goliath in mind. All of those types of things, you get to make that personal between you and the Lord for your business and your calling.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, of course, in the spirit of these wonderful tools, I hope that the right Rocketeers are completely inspired by being introduced to Elise. And I do recommend that you find her and connect with her. You spell her name Elise Smith. And of course, you could find all her information in the podcast episode notes. But please, right now, text for this wonderful value bomb that Elise put together. So she talks about these tools and exercises, and she put together this really great guide on brainstorming with God and how to actually initiate that partnership from a business and entrepreneurial perspective. And it's really a great piece. I think it's fantastic, and I commend you, Elise, for putting it together. And so for you, if you're in the U.S., don't wait. You need to do this. I want you to be inspired, and you can literally do this tonight, tomorrow, right? And text RF-partnership to receive the exercise. Don't wait till tomorrow to text, but do the exercise tomorrow. RF for rocket fuel dash partnership to 411321, and you'll receive brainstorming with God, and you'll be able to have access to other resources that are going to help you kind of think about how to achieve your business goals by actually partnering with God, right? And of course, if you are outside of the United States, you can text RF-partnership to +1 909 741 1321. Please, in both cases, make sure that you provide your email address when we ask for it, because that's how you're going to receive it, right in your email inbox. It'll be an attachment, a PDF attachment. Print that sucker, open it up on your laptop, on your desktop, and start using this tool so that you can get that feeling of how you can bridge that gap, right? From connecting with your faith and God and family, and finally bringing it into your business. All right. So do that now. I do not want you to delay and miss out on this wonderful tool. Elise, thank you so much. Can you tell us just a couple of final notes on why or how they should utilize this tool?
Absolutely. Brainstorming with God is part of our business meetings with God that we teach our clients. So you're getting one of our amazing tools that we give our clients to be able to find those answers and solutions that you're looking for. I mean, if you were to think about it right now, there is one thing that you wish you had an answer for, or that you wish you had guidance on. Well, I'm telling you, this brainstorming with God will be able to help unlock that answer and that solution inside of you, so that you'll be able to see opportunities everywhere in your business.
Excellent. And what I love is that you actually provide a link to your calendar so that when you have that brainstorming with God experience, you can be like, ah, all right, and just connect with Elise, tell her how the tool worked for you. If you struggled with the exercise, then connect with her as well. I mean, this is definitely a heart-driven mission for Elise, and I'm just happy to be able to deliver that rocket fuel, be the platform to deliver that rocket fuel for the right Rocketeer that's listening. So thank you so much, Elise. Guys, listen to the longer episode. This is just like the little tip of the iceberg. It was just a value packed and inspiring and kind of eye-opening sort of topic, I think, for many, where faith is such an important part of their life. So thank you for taking that mission on, Elise.
Thank you so much, Wanda. I appreciate what you're doing too.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. And I hope that you, my dear Rocketeers, have a rockin' day. Bye now. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, every one of our episodes is boosted by a value-packed keyword called a catchword. Yeah. This allows our audiences to text to receive even more value from our guests. So take advantage of that great value. And if you share your expertise by guesting on podcasts or TV or speaking in front of live or digital audiences, then you're leaving anonymous fans behind. So go get a catchword at catchwords.com, KETCH words.com, and use podcast20 as a promo code for 20% off your setup fee. Look, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the Rocket Fuel podcast so you never miss your jolt of rocket fuel. Until next time, adios.